Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us today for this webinar on things to think about when migrating EBS to Fusion SaaS. What we're going to share with you today is what we've learned from more than 70 plus customer implementations of taking customers from their on-prem ERP system to Fusion ERP and Fusion SaaS applications. So let's get started. So the agenda for today is Oracle E-Business Suite migrations to Fusion SaaS. We'll discuss the different types of migration challenges customers have faced. How do we control user and access management? What do we do with data from our legacy EBS systems that we've now migrated to functionality into Fusion SaaS? What are we going to do with all that data? What are our data hosting options? How do we ensure we're getting secure printing capabilities in Fusion? What is the best way to manage the integrations and customizations with Fusion SaaS applications, right? How do we get the best analytics and reporting out of the Oracle Cloud Platform, not only with our new Fusion SaaS implementation, but also with our combining that new data with our legacy or historical e-business suite data that we've had for many years. And then how do we manage the SaaS subscriptions and the licensing going forward as we've done with e-business suite through the years, right? And then what's the best way to manage and maintain these new ERP platforms now that we've adopted them into our ecosystem? So a little bit about us today. My name is Mihir Patel. I'm the VP of Cloud Architecture here at Apps, and I've been working with Oracle applications for over 20 years. Focused on business and technology solutions and architecture strategy here at Apps, and have experience and knowledge around Oracle applications and technology in my career. And I'm joined today with Sudhakar Marampalli. Sudhakar, you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, Mir. Thank you so much. Yeah. Hello, everyone. My name is Sudhakar Marampalli. I'm a cloud architect at Apps Associates for over 10 years now, with the overall experience of 22 years of IT consulting experience. So I predominantly work on the areas of migrations, implementations, and single sign-on solutions, and high availability and disaster recovery architectures. I'm a certified solution architect on both AWS and OCI. So my vast experience has been on the solution architecture and working as a apps DBA for over 20 years now. Over to you, Mir.
Thanks, Sudhakar. So a little bit about Apps before we get started, right? We were founded in 2002. We're headquartered in Acton, Massachusetts. We have over 400 plus active clients that we work with globally. We have about 1,300 plus employees worldwide. So we can really assist our customers from a global 24/7 footprint location. And our areas of expertise are advisory services around, migrating and adopting cloud technologies, whether it be on Oracle or Salesforce or other platforms. And then we help support those business applications as well, e-business suite, PeopleSoft, et cetera. We have an analytics and integration and automation platform and practice as well. So anything related to various different integration technologies, Dell Boomi, Oracle Integration Cloud, et cetera, we can support you and your business needs. And then we have application and infrastructure managed services for those customers that need additional assistance in helping to maintain these really awesome assets that they've bought. So our advisory services is focused on system selection, system design. We have workshops that we conduct with our customers in terms of, EBS to SaaS, PeopleSoft to SaaS, et cetera. We have business applications support around all the entire Oracle SaaS application stack, ERP, HCM, SCM, EPM, et cetera. With that, we support those applications with our business integration and automation practice in terms of integrating those applications with external systems and basically Oracle Integration Cloud and other integration technologies that our customers may be interested in. We complement that with data and analytics and AI, not only with Oracle, but with other platforms as well. and we service that on 3 different predominant hyperscalers. That's AWS, Oracle, and Microsoft. And then we have managed services to support every logo that you see below. Thank you. So in terms of Oracle Cloud ERP and SaaS, if you will, right? What are the advantages of, and why are customers looking at moving their legacy ERP platforms to SaaS, right? So this is what we've heard from our customers, right? They like the subscription-based model. They like the lower total cost of ownership, right? Because I don't have to worry about servers, OS, pipe power and ping, data center management, all of that, right? It's SaaS. I go to the URL, I'm able to access it, right? They're able to stay on modern hardware and software, right? No more, hey, we're running on 5-year-old software stacks. We're got to worry about security and hacking and all these other things, right? That enterprises are faced with on a day-to-day basis. And obviously with the advent of AI and introduction of AI, they're able to adopt AI into these stacks a lot faster because SaaS is already incorporating AI into the standard functionality of the applications, right? Which they wouldn't be able to do. So basically staying current with the technology and security, right? Infinite scalability infrastructure to support their global business needs. Not only from a SaaS perspective, but complementing your SaaS implementations with Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. They get a modern user experience, and they're getting the industry-leading analytics capabilities with the Oracle BI and analytics products that Oracle has as well. So they get the one-stop shop from Oracle with the holistic modern data platform architecture that they get across all pillars of the Oracle Cloud, if you will, around infrastructure, platform as a service, and SaaS. So, you've had this EBS ERP platform, whether it's EBS or PeopleSoft or JD Edwards, et cetera. What could go wrong by simply trying to replace that ERP that you've had in moving it into Fusion ERP, right? Well, these are the key things that we've seen that customers have had challenges with, right? When they're trying to move their legacy platforms into the modern SaaS architecture and infrastructure platforms, right? They're not dedicating time to global design, right? This is extremely important. You're buying a new asset that's going to be yielding great benefits to your business. You have to spend the time to do the global design upfront to ensure, do you want to carry those same processes that you had in your legacy ERP systems into Fusion SaaS, or do you want to modernize those? And take advantage of new feature sets and capabilities that are available only in SaaS, right? They weren't available in your legacy ERP platforms, right? Not understanding your licensing needs, right? Now with the new bundling and whatnot, how does that play into how which ones should I cancel support on, shelve, et cetera, migrate and adopt SaaS for? Not understanding your data security needs and separation of duty requirements, right? So if we haven't addressed those in our legacy ERP platforms, how do we take advantage of this implementation and migration into SaaS and ensuring that we have the right roles and privileges set up in a proper, secure manner from an audit, compliance, et cetera, perspective, right? Not thinking about user access management, right? How are we going to ensure that the folks that are authorized to get access to our SaaS and our data are appropriately mapped and authenticated and gaining access to it, right? Not planning out our data and analytics and reporting strategy, right? We have all this data and historical data in our ERP platforms. How are we going to marry that data? Because we're not going to do 100% data conversion when we're moving it into SaaS. So how are we going to take advantage of that historical data that we have and marry it with our new data set in Fusion ERP that we're about to implement and adopt, right? Not thinking about our master data management strategy, right? We've had multiple duplicate vendors, suppliers, et cetera, in our systems, et cetera. Do we want to take this opportunity to clean it, or do we want to just take all the same data sets that we have in our legacy ERPs and move them into Fusion SaaS, right? We're getting a brand new platform, so this may be a great opportunity to think about how do we want to tackle master data management and clean up those duplicate suppliers and things like that, customers, et cetera, right? And then not planning for quarterly updates and associated testing, right? With Fusion, We get the ability to get brand new releases every quarter. With that comes some management and maintenance that we need to make sure that with those new feature sets and capabilities that we're getting from Oracle as a part of our subscription, that we're able to adopt those and get the business operational and testing those new feature sets and functionality as those releases get rolled out to us. So on that note, I'm going to hand it off to Sudhakar to discuss user access management. Sudhakar?
Yes, Mihir. Thank you, Mihir, for that wonderful insights into setting the stone of understanding what are the advantages on the Fusion ERP when the customer migrate, and deeper thoughts on the advantages of the cloud platform, and also some of the insights into what could go wrong. Thank you so much. And the next part of the presentation, we will be going through some of the security aspects of the Fusion Cloud. And before we get discussing about user access management, if you take a step back, and we all know that implementing a robust security measure is very critical for any organizations who are planning this cloud journey, and to safeguard their sensitive data and adhere to the compliance requirements. So as we know that Oracle Cloud ERP provides a comprehensive suite of products, services, right? So securing that sensitive data is a paramount important for any organization, whether it's a small, medium, or large, right? So when they are starting this cloud journey, the first thing they need to think about the security. What I mean by that, security is very, very crucial when they're planning this cloud journey. And as part of this particular journey, they have to start thinking about their security strategy, which should be in line with their organization and needs, also supplementing whatever the requirements on the regulatory side of it. So that is the first starting point. And when you talk about the security, there are different layers of security you need to think through. And as part of this presentation, we will only talking through a few aspects of it. But if you think in a broader spectrum of things from a security perspective, you have to think about the user management and the data encryption. And then third thing is like network security. When you're transferring the data, whatever the channels may be, it could be IPsec VPN, or you have fast connect, dedicated connections. So you need to make sure your data is securely transmitted over a secure channel. And then you need to have some auditing in place so that you know who is accessing and all that good stuff. Okay, so with that, we will just talk about user access management, which is also very key thing in this spectrum of security aspects. Next slide here. Yeah, as we all know that Oracle ERP natively won't support multi-factor authentication. So when you are thinking on this particular cloud adoption, going into Fusion SaaS, what you need to think through, how you can secure your user access, right? You might be seeing everywhere you're seeing this multi-factor authentication, right? Even whether banks or any other sensitive information requirements. So this is the first thing you need to think through. When you are planning this journey, make sure you are enabling multi-factor authentication for your Fusion SaaS. So there are different ways you can do that. If you have Oracle OCI, then you can use OCI IAM as your identity management solution to have that MFA. If not, if you already have an enterprise active directory, you can just hook it up to your Azure AD also. Other IDPs like Okta, these are also supported. But this is very crucial when you are starting the journey. Make sure you secure your user authentication with a multi-factor baked into this security process, so that you can minimize unauthorized access. Okay, so that is very critical part of your security posture. Okay, so next is what, as you are securing your user access, next thing you have to focus on your data, right? So as you are planning this cloud journey, migrating the your legacy ERP onto Fusion SaaS, you might have run this Oracle ERP for quite a number of years, right? So you may be having quite large size of data. So it's again depends what are your data size is looking at it. Then there are different ways, like what are the options you can think through when you want to move your legacy data onto your Fusion SaaS. Okay, so basically you can decide based on these key considerations, like what are your legal requirements as far as your data retention and data security goes, right? And what are your reporting needs, like how much back in the data you are planning to report on. Those are some of the key considerations. Also, you have to think through about your skills of your staff, right? Whether they are aware of or they know this cloud thing. If not, then we have to kind of plan for their training to understand how this cloud works, right? And the migration efforts as well. Okay, so these are some of the key considerations when you are thinking about moving your legacy data along the side of the size of your data also, right? If let's say we have seen some customers, they're maintaining the data for a long time and data has grown too huge, right? Like terabytes of data. And you need to make a decision based on these key metrics to quantify how much data you want to bring it over. Or we will discuss in the next slides what are the different options you can think through to, as far as you are migrating this legacy data onto Fusion SaaS. Okay, so these are at high level 5 flavors you can think through. The first one is you can have your EBS apps and database hosted on your on-premise itself. Whenever, like, you can have your if you have a reporting application already on cloud, you can try to connect to your on-premise data center and try to report from your on-premise. And the second option is, let's say you want to move some data to the cloud itself in option 2. So you can move your EBS apps and database to the cloud OCI infrastructure and take reporting off of it. And the other option is, like, let's say you don't need the application layer and you can just take your EBS database as is and port it over to the cloud. Okay, and these are all you need to think through really. How big is your data, whether there is any scope for you to reduce the data set. Based on that, you can take a call. If it is the data is huge, as that option 3, where you can host your data, your on-premise itself, and use that database to kind of reporting off of it. And fourth option is you can move the database to cloud if the data set is not that huge. Then fifth option is, let's say you have already a data warehouse solution on the cloud. Already you have that solution. So what you can do is you can just take the data, subset of the data, whatever is needed based on that other factors in other last slide we talked about, right? Based on the history of data retention and all those things take into consideration, then you can make that data set what really you need from a reporting purpose that you can move on to the data warehouse solution. So these are some of the options you can think through when you come to the migrating the data, legacy data. Yeah, so now we have talked about data. Now let us talk about the printing. Since you are moving if you think of a scenario, you're running everything on-premise, right? So you have printers in your on-premise data center. There is no issues at all because it is within your LAN network, right? But when you are, the moment you are thinking about moving to Fusion SaaS, which is on cloud, right? So you need to think about a secure printing. You may be having some label printing, invoice printing, and stuff like that, right? So how you can make it secure way you can print those, right? So let us talk about those. Yeah. So when you are determining this printing needs, first you need to, this is kind of a checklist. You can use this. This is very useful, what we thought. So we will, this is what we are using for other customers. So this will be helpful for you. So basically you have four options here, right? Printing directly from the public internet, or you can use a VPN, or if you have some OCI already, then you can use some load balancer, a fast connect to have a secure printing. Or if you have a print server, then you can also use that. We can dive deeper into those different flavors of the options. But you have to think through what you have, what you currently have on the infrastructure space. Then based on that, you can take a call. What are the option is viable for you? Okay. Next slide. Yeah. So this is the first option, like you are printing over the public internet. Then the challenge here is how can you make it very secure, since it is going transmitted over public internet? How you will be securing this printing needs? So in this particular option, what you will be doing is you will be creating some sort of IPsec tunnel, which would be transmitted in a secure fashion. And you will also use some firewalls to kind of whitelisting what you are expecting from the source. This is the some IP ranges. This is what you are envisioning coming from. Then you can allow only that particular traffic from that particular designated source IP range. That way, you are not allowing anything except that particular IP range. Then you can, there are different options here. If you have a print server, you can just hand it off directly to the print server. Then print server will take care of where it has to send it to. If you don't have print server, no problem. You can just send it to printer directly. But the only thing is it should be SSL enabled for this particular thing to work, and the printer has to be SSL supported printers. Okay, so yeah, next option is similar to the first option. So it is like in a secure IPsec VPN tunnel, firewall and everything. It's similar to the first option. Yeah, so this is another flavor. Like, let's say you are using Fusion SaaS along with your OCI. If you have some magnitude of OCI footprint, then what would typically do for this kind of customer footprint? We will provisioning some load balancer in the OCI, and the Fusion SaaS can send the request to the OCI load balancer, which internally will send the traffic off to your on-premise through that VPN or fast connect, which you might have established already with your OCI cloud infrastructure. Okay, so this is another option on the table. Okay, and this option is this again, this will reduce a lot of your management overhead. Like, you will be provisioning the print server in the OCI itself. So what the advantage this option compared to the other option is, all your load balancer on OCI only sending to your print server, all the communication. Then print server will decide what printer it has to send it to. So this will reduce a lot of overhead from the management perspective to maintain. Instead of having individual connections to the each printer, as far as this printing goes. All we are doing is you are just manage this print server, and that you will configure talking to all the printers. That way you won't establish a one-to-one connection with all your printers. That will save a lot of time. Now let us talk about something on the customization and integrations, right? As we know that EBS is very heavily having customizations and integrations that is expected. So when you are planning this cloud journey, you should give a real thought into how you are going to plan for this customizations and integrations to work as it was working on your on-premise environments, right? So that is the thing you need to think through. So there are two different options here as far as your integrations goes. Visual Builder Studio, which comes embedded into your Fusion SaaS, that is out of the box, no need to deploy anything. That is just given out of the box as you implement. Whereas your VBCS, Visual Builder Cloud Service, which is part of the OIC solution, it's built on open standards, so you can make use of those. These are all supports your extensions and all those integrations. So you can go, like, I am not going to read all this different like advantages, features of this individual, but you can take a decision like which one will be fitting for your needs, whether it would be Visual Builder Studio or VBCS, that part of OIC. Okay, and another things, as we have seen for many customers, they will be using some sort of Apex application for their reporting needs, even the Java Cloud Service, right? So if you already have Apex integrated with your on-premise solution, when you are migrating to Fusion SaaS, you can also use Apex. And we have not seen many customers using this Java Cloud Service. That is kind of outdated. But you can use Apex as you are using in on-premise. Okay, so we just briefly touched on VBCS, right? VB Cloud Service. So this Oracle Integration Cloud, this is many of the customers are using, and this is a kind of a single stop solution for all your integration needs. It supports your REST services, SOAP services, and all those requirements. So when you are migrating to Fusion SaaS, you can think of OIC as your integration platform if you want to integrate with any third-party integrations that you were running on-premise. Okay, so these are kind of something inbound, outbound, like whenever you are going into this particular Fusion SaaS. So this inbound is basically what you are consuming to the system, and outbound is what you are sharing with the third parties. So in either of the cases, OIC will work. For SOAP or REST services, even the file adapters you can use, that is called ERP Cloud Adapter for integrations. Okay, now let us talk about some of the analytics and reporting requirements when you are planning this Fusion SaaS. Okay, so when you are thinking of this cloud journey, these are some of the metrics or the checklist what you need to think through. As we were talking in other slides earlier, based on your reporting needs, how much historical data you want to report based on whatever your business requirements are that you need to think through, and what is the frequency you need the data, and how you are going to access those historical data, and what information needs to be accessed. Based on these factors, you can think about your analytical capabilities on the Fusion SaaS. Okay. So yeah, it's a little bit, this slide is just, we want to highlight, right? Earlier, they used to call Fusion Analytics Warehouse, FAW, but it has been rebranded as FDI, Fusion Data Intelligence. So that is what the analytical tool is for going forward. Okay, so these are some of the data configuration strategies. As we were talking, right? Let's say if you're having huge data, like terabytes of data, and which you have not cleaned up, and this may be the opportunity. You can just streamline how much data you are needing outside of that. Let's say you have like 50 terabytes of data which you have using on this system for over many years, but some of them may not be used. You're not having any archiving or purging strategy in place. That's why there is a lot of growth in the data, and then this is the chance to kind of looking at your data to find out what really you need from this particular data set, right? It's not advisable to move the entire data unless until there is a strong business case where you need that entire data. But most of the cases that not be the case. So you can have a holistic view to that data set to find out whether you need a full copy of the data, or you need some subset of data, or a combination of some historical data, or so where this direction is, like whether you want to have the data set on its own, or you want to take the data and put it onto your analytical data warehouse, where you can run the reports directly on the data warehouse solution versus going to another database to bring the data. That will be some performance overheads there. But again, the key thing to understand is it's all driven from your business requirements and how much the data set you have, and historically how long you want to go for from your reporting needs, whether it may be your compliance regulatory requirements or from your business perspective. Based on that, you need to decide this data strategies. Okay, again, yeah, this is kind of putting in a tabular form, like which option is really useful for you. Based on that, you need to derive to a strategy, like what you are going to do with that data set. Okay, over to you, Mihir.
Thanks, Sudhakar. All right, so let's talk about SaaS user and license management. A lot of customers, when they move to Fusion ERP and Fusion applications, are thinking that, hey, we don't need to worry about licensing anymore. We've been dealing with about, for the past 10, 15, 20 years with, Oracle technology licenses, applications, et cetera, and, I don't need to worry about that when I go to SaaS. That's not exactly true, right? You want to be able to get the most out of your investment in Oracle. And with SaaS, subscription management is also going to be key, right? So let's talk about what Oracle gives us as tools to help you with your SaaS user subscription management. So license management in SaaS, right? You still need to do it, right? You still have a licensing obligation when migrating to SaaS, right? So you need to understand the usage and user breakdowns in terms of what did we buy, how many did we buy, how does that translate into our subscription that we're paying to Oracle on a monthly, year, or multi-year basis, right? So things to consider: the number of users, separation of duties, controls, audit requirements. When we're defining our roles and privileges in our Fusion ERP, we need to be very mindful of that, right? Unique process designs, right, in order to cash, procure to pay, et cetera, can have different implications on how we design those roles and privileges, and those indirectly could translate into different licensing requirements across different bundles, if you will, from Oracle, right? So the custom role design is absolutely key. It is not recommended that you use the seeded roles at all. In my opinion, you should have a custom role library. And if you're using Apps Associates, we have our own custom role library that we'll bring to any implementation. But I would always ask an SI if how they can help you with these audit, control, and role design elements, right, as you're embarking on your adoption of Fusion. Trying to do it later after the fact is going to be very difficult. So I recommend that you evaluate that as a part of your implementation process with your SI, right? Privilege management and whatnot. Oracle also gives us quarterly updates. It's called a subscription usage report, some report, if you will. And then I can also simulate that in the Simulate Later Navigator in Fusion to be able to model what access and things like that is going to be given to an individual before I actually roll that role out into the production pod, if you will. So let's talk a little bit more about the subscription usage management report, right? So every month for your production pod, you're going to get access to a sum report, right? The only way to ensure that you don't overpay for unused licenses in your Oracle Fusion applications is to reduce and remediate role and privilege configurations, right? And that there's multiple different metrics, right? There's the hosted named user, there's the enterprise, and then there's usage-based metrics, right? So in terms of roles and privilege configurations, it really affects your hosted named user licenses, right? That you need to be mindful of. So you can check your SaaS subscription costs on your contract and whatnot. We've taken this sum report and we've actually developed our own tooling. It's available out on the cloud marketplace. You guys can go check it out. It's called Apps License Safeguard. You're able to basically take the same data that the subscription usage management report gives you and the drill through Excel spreadsheet that Oracle gives you, but you can marry that in with your contract data, like how much should I pay for this bundle? How much is this costing me, et cetera? And you can slice and dice the data in different ways. So when you're trying to figure out, hey, do these individuals, do these departments, et cetera, need the access to Fusion the way they have it today, right? You're able to make those decisions based on dollars. How much is it costing me per month to have somebody access this by department, by group, by user, right? So do they actually need it, and is there a different way I can get them that data without getting them front end access, right? Maybe TBI report or other. So check out Apps License Safeguard. There's a video out there on Marketplace if you're interested in that. You don't have to have it. You can just use your sum report and the drill through reports Oracle gives you on a monthly basis as well to manage it. But check it out if you're interested. So what does life after go live look like? What do I need to consider, right? What are the things that are going to happen to us? It's not the same ERP we used to have before, right? Where there's PeopleSoft, EBS, JDE, et cetera. Fusion is a different ERP. It provides tremendous value and operational capabilities for the business, but the way we manage and maintain that asset is different than the way we managed and maintained our on-prem ERP platforms, right? So life after the migration, right? Once you migrated into Fusion, what's next, right? We're going to be getting quarterly updates from Oracle, right? They're scheduled releases. You can see all the releases that have come before. You want to make sure that the role and access changes that the new functionality will provide, is it going to impact me in any way? You want to make sure that what things and what elements within our deployment do we need to ensure we're testing as a result of the new feature set and functionality, right? We want to make sure that we're running the subscription usage management report as a result of it to ensure that, as a result of the new release, no functionality change that's going to require additional functionality or drop us into, enabling capability for our users that we didn't license, for instance, right? Are we leveraging OTBI reporting versus granting users access to the SaaS modules as a result of these releases and whatnot, right? We need to consider those on a perpetual, continual basis, if you will, right? So also consider expanding reporting capabilities with FDI and ADW versus granting access directly into Fusion SaaS. Automate your testing for getting better, faster testing cycles done, right? Understand with every release content document, you want to figure out what are the elements that we need to test. You need to do that, right? Ensure you have proper governance and risk compliance in there. Make sure you understand what the users and role cost management are, as we talked about earlier. And then, terminating unused tech licenses and support. A lot of customers, once they move their Fusion to Fusion, they haven't canceled or terminated their legacy support bills and things like that on the technology side. The apps we can cover as a part of the adoption of Fusion, but maybe the technology we didn't really think about, if you will. So now is our chance to maybe think about, okay, do we need this much Oracle database license, or how do I redeploy those database technology assets that we used to have that were allocated to EBS, et cetera, and how do I recast them and get new value out of them with either Oracle 23 AI and other capabilities that the Oracle Cloud infrastructure side of the house or the platform side of the house can enable us to do in conjunction with our Fusion SaaS. So looking at that, those technology assets in a different way, or just terminating those unused assets if they're no longer needed. So on that note, thank you everyone for your time. If y'all have any questions or follow-up inquiry, please feel free to reach out to myself or Sudhakar. Our email address is here. Thank you for your time today.